Good afternoon, YouTube fans. Admiral Preparedness here, and today we're going to continue on our series of What Does It Taste Like Now? This one is Meals Ready to Eat Entree, Garlic and Herb Chicken Breast Filet, made by the MRE Company, located out of Evansville, Indiana. Ingredients: grilled seasoned chicken breast with rib meat, chicken breast with rib meat, chicken broth, modified food starch, salt, water, contains less than 2% of garlic herb seasoning, and the garlic herb seasoning is dehydrated garlic, dehydrated onions, spices, and spice extractives. Contains 2% or less of each of the following: soybean oil, modified food starch with erythrobic acid, and salt. You can go online to MREinfo.com or any of the military food websites. You will find the manufacturing. This one has an interesting back artwork, if you want to call it that. It looks like they just completely removed what was supposed to be there so the troop or soldier, airman, sailor, or marine could entertain themselves while waiting for the meal to cook. As you can see up here, this has the military date of 2014, January 1st at 19:58 p.m. as the manufacturing date of when it came off the assembly line at MRE. Now, being a 2014 January 1st, that puts this just over 3 years and 5 months, since this is almost the end of May 2017. As you can see, it has never been opened. I've got hot water in the kitchen area ready to go, so I could submerge it into that hot water for about 8 minutes. And this will be the only thing I'm going to review today, because I don't want to do complete MREs, since I lived off of them for 21 days beginning of around the first part of June of last year. And if you look at my videos, you'll find that series there. I wanted to go back and re-edit them, but I became ill over the past few months and didn't get around to doing that. I appreciate your viewing, and I appreciate your subscribing to my channel. And again, we give an unbiased opinion of food that has gone past its expiration or best buy date, or military meals ready to eat regardless of their date. So for the simple fact is, these are designed to survive under serious conditions and not really long term. The military puts these out at a constant rate, and the surplus ends up in the civilian markets, where we can buy these for our own personal use. But I can almost assure you that from the time I received this specific entree, that it has been kept at 64 degrees Fahrenheit. And as you can tell from the container, it's in a moisture-free environment. So we have to go with the trust that before we purchased it, from wherever we got it, and I know exactly where this came from, that they have kept it at a certain temperature and maintained that temperature while they were holding on to it prior to me purchasing it. So let's take it out of the container. Now, we do know that over the years they decided to go ahead and remove these boxes, because the information that's on the actual container, which is a retort pouch, this one here is, you would start to save more on weight. This doesn't weigh much, but it is bulky and takes up quite a bit of room in a backpack or a cache or whatever. But it is well mark to what this is, and it has the same production date of 2014-065. Now here's where it gets a little bit interesting. This was produced in 2014 on the 065 day, and on this container it has 2014-001. So we have a discrepancy here of about 64 days. Now, how in the world did this box and then this entree meet up 64 days apart? So this is where that disconnect comes in, folks. I trust this number now more than I trust this number. I didn't expect to see this, but now this is what you'll find while you're doing your food. Don't just trust the box, because the actual package, when this was produced, it's on a production line, and that laser printed, laser spot jet or inkjet print, I would trust more. 65 days is not that long, and it comes to MRE shelf life. So just know that, well, Ameriquil used an old box, or how the world that happened, you've got me. But I'm going to go ahead and go on the line and say that this is the date that I want to go by. So, being May 30th or 31st, I'm not sure which day it is right now, that this meal is 3 years old. So we'll go with being 3 years old. And let's go get it in the heat, and then we'll be right back. And folks, as you can see, we're going to get the water back to boiling again. It took a little longer than I thought because I had some chores to do. So now we've got it under high heat, and we're going to let that water come to a complete boil. Once it comes to a complete boil, we will take it off the heat and allow the meal to heat itself up in that water bath. So stand by. And the water is now rapidly boiling. And so that puts it about 212 degrees Fahrenheit. The retort bag is a metallized material, so we'll allow that to make itself nice and happy in that nice boiling jacuzzi. We don't want to cook the food because it's already been cooked. All we want to do is bring it to temperature so it is edible, and of course we can eat it either cold or hot. You can eat this with flour tortillas, you can eat it with bread, you can eat it with rice, you can pretty much eat it with anything else. But today we're just going to sample the actual chicken breast without anything else on it. And now we're going to just go ahead and turn that heat off, save some gas. It doesn't need to continue. We just want to reheat it. So all we're trying to do now is just heat the product up long enough so we can consume it. It appears that the retort pouch has had a slight vacuum applied to it, and you can see that by the crinkles, that when it was definitely hot when it went into that container, and then when it was sealed, that atmosphere that was excited by the heat molecules, when it cooled, it compressed, causing a slight vacuum to occur, which is probably a good thing since these don't have oxygen absorbers in them. I witnessed the process and saw that they do flush with nitrogen, so we know that the oxygen has been removed, and of course the heat causes the gases to expand, and then as it cools, the gases contract. So without further ado, it's been plenty of time to let this guy sit in the water bath to fully, thoroughly heat. Now we'll take it to the serving area. And folks, we have heated the material up. This is the garlic herb chicken breast fillet. Very hot. Now what they did here was gave you the cut marks so you could open it at the top, So we'll go ahead and tear it at its first tear to bring that to the exposed area. And it's going to be a little moist because they do pack it with water. This has definitely been grilled, so there are grill marks, either slightly grilled. It is piping hot. You can see the steam coming off of the food product. Now it does come in a juice. It does appear to be skinless. There's a nice big chunk of chicken. The smell has brought the cleanup crew, or one of the cleanup crew, to the forefront. You can see different pieces or different herbs, different spices in the liquid. Definitely has a chicken broth smell. Chicken is very tender. Of course, it's been sitting in that liquid for 3 years plus. The flavor is extremely pleasant. There is no bad aftertaste. It is definitely chicken breast material. The liquid definitely gives it moisture that it needs. There is some skin on the piece of chicken. This would go well, like I said, with a flour tortilla on a roll or a bun. Sometimes they give you white wheat snack bread. Very flavorful. A little bit of salt, pepper, the garlic. Gives you a feeling of being at home on a Sunday and you're having your mom's or grandma or aunt cook chicken. Very tasty. Definitely filling. If you were to be serviced in a restaurant with stewed tomatoes, maybe some stewed potatoes in a soup or broth, you pay about $8 for this restaurant style meal. Definitely would go good with rice. That water would mix well with the rice. The broth is exceptional. The meat is tender, not overcooked. It's not dry. You could eat this for breakfast with either, if you had grits, you could use the broth as part of the moisture for the grits. Very good. I don't taste a lot of garlic, but it's in there. There's no garlic pieces. But definitely a home run for the boys and ladies at Natick Labs at Natick, Massachusetts, for coming up with this entree. to be shared by anyone in the military or civil service or contractor who happens to be able to gather together and find themselves consuming an MRE. This would be one of the ones I would pick out of the crowd as one of the ones I would desire to bring with me or carry or seek out in an MRE package. All of my future taste tests of what does it taste like now will be singular entrees, desserts, and sides, only because I don't buy MREs complete. I buy the components from different companies while I watch the prices, check for free shipping, and of course freshness. Because when I purchased this particular entree with others, either as a combo, sometimes you can buy them as at 18 count of 18 for about $1.19 each, with shipping about $6 flat rate. Pardon me while I there's no way I was going to let that go to waste. Those herbs, spices, it's like a little soup. That made a great lunch. And as before, the gastrointestinal tract was not disturbed at all in any of the items that I've been reviewing over my series. So eating well over their Best Buy dates, commercial off-the-shelf products, and now we're starting into our military meals ready to eat products. Rest assured that if you're keeping this at a decent temperature, you don't have to worry about it going bad, because this is now, like I said, 3 years old. At 64 degrees, I could keep this probably for 10 years. I'm not going to keep them for 10 years, trust me. Once these guys hit about 5 years, I'll start bringing them through. We are planning a few camping trips well, it's now almost summer, so these will be taken out and used for those trips. So don't worry, these are not going to get thrown away at my house. So I'd like to just let you guys know that we got more of the series coming up. Please subscribe, comment, like, share. If you have any item specific, any menu item that's an MRE that's made between 2012 and 2017, suggest it at the comments section, and we'll go through our vast selection of entrees, sides, and desserts, and come up in the future with a review of that particular item. Admiral Preparedness here. You guys have a great week.